Sure. Keith Corporation was founded in 1989. It's a full-service real estate development firm based here in Charlotte, but we've done business throughout the United States, 18 states we've developed in, and one foreign country. We tend to follow our tenants around. The majority has been done in the state of North Carolina. We do industrial, office, retail, and now health sciences and health services. Well, we first got into the Raleigh market in the 90s, and we've done a number of projects for companies like Pergo, Papa John's. We had done a number of build-to-suits, but in each case we had to go find land, and it was not always easy. And I went to my partner, Alan Lewis, who had great success in Lincoln County. We're working with the Lincoln County Economic Development Director and the state to put together a 500-600 acre park now that is, when he started, it was 400,000 feet, and now it's 3.5 million feet. So I went to Alan and I said, where can we find a platform similar in the Raleigh-Durham area so that we're not always searching for that site, for that build-to-suit, because a lot of times it's very hard to find once the tenant comes to the table. So that's what brought Alan to Raleigh, and that's what created Four Oaks.
Great.
Well, the first thing I wanted to do was get out of the influence of the Research Triangle Park. And what we wanted to try to create was a business park that was outside of the influence of the Raleigh metro area, so that the land prices would be very competitive. Within about 45 minutes of Raleigh-Durham International Airport. And really my preference was to try to find it along one of the interstates. So with kind of ground zero being the intersection of I-95 and I-40. We couldn't find any land at that interchange that we liked, so we went up the road about 6 miles, and at that time there was a Cabela's project rumored in the market looking at Four Oaks, which is about 6 miles north of I-40 on I-95. And I met the mayor of Four Oaks, who is a very charming and entertaining man who also owns the local barbecue restaurant and is a good friend. Grown to like him a lot. So we got engaged with the town in the pursuit of the Cabela's deal, which didn't end up happening. But in the course of that, we talked to the mayor about what he wanted to see developed at that interchange. And they had intentionally put a moratorium on development at that interchange because they didn't want there to be just fast food popping up in typical I-95 interchange.
The mayor used the term, he didn't want a plastic intersection. He wanted an intersection where there would be business development and long-term jobs, higher paying jobs, and he really preserved that intersection for that purpose of a business park. So they had an idea of what they wanted, and Alan helped them focus and refine that idea.
But the hard thing about eastern North Carolina is east of I-95, you start running into a lot of soil and wetland issues and Neuse River Basin and all these various things that are impediments to development. One tract of land that I looked at just up the road was 550 acres between 2 interchanges on I-95, and just looking at the tax map, it was perfect. But when we looked at the topo and the wetlands, there were just little pockets of uplands, surrounded by wetlands, and it just wouldn't work. So the mayor showed me a tract of land near the interchange at Keene Road and I-95, and it's 6 tracts of land, which is a manageable number, and about 25 people involved in that. And he coordinated a series of meetings with them. And what I wanted to try to do is develop a platform where the landowners would come in, give a long-term option at a fixed price for the land, and then encourage the county and the town to seed the infrastructure for the park, knowing that down the road when we win a project, we can go after other grant money and state DOT funds and various pockets of money that are out there for infrastructure. The Four Oaks Park, and really back to the project as a whole, are just it's it's a great example of what can be done when a lot of people work together. And you had the town of 4 Oaks, Johnston County, the entire Board of Commissioners was in favor of seeding this project. The landowners were agreeable unanimously. So what we helped 4 Oaks do and helped the county do and helped the Johnston County Industrial Development Corporation do, which was the Economic Development Office, was negotiate the options, long-term options on the land at a fixed price. And Johnston County agreed to fund $1 million for phase 1 of the infrastructure, which would allow us to create the semblance of a park. And basically came in through to the transmission line, roadway, curb and gutter, landscaping, all of the things.
Ultimately about 3,500 feet of road in phase 1 and phase 2, right?
That's right. And so we wanted an investment grade park, no metal building. This isn't what we typically do. We don't normally go out and proactively market our success. And we're very grateful to be recognized, but at the same time, we know that we didn't get here by ourselves. And we had a lot of people, not just our team that we brought to the table, and Chode and Moore Van Allen and Merriman Schmidt and Kim and Creed, and our internal partners, but just all of the other state and local governmental agencies and all of the people that were so heavily involved in this from start to finish. And Graham Keith, our chairman, told me about 15 years ago when I was puffing my chest out about having done something spectacular. He said, "Alan, if you're walking down a country road and you see a turtle on a fence post," he said, "there's only one thing you know for sure. That turtle didn't get there by himself." And then he walked away, and I kind of soaked that in over the next couple of days. And but we really do recognize that in this project and in the development of the park.